name is Dr. Moez Manji. I'm the Regional Managing Director of Uni Industries East Africa Limited. Okay, Uni Industries East Africa was incorporated in 4 years back. Before that, I used to have a company called Benham International Limited, which I started some 22 years back. 4 years back, we merged with a South African group called Universal Industries. So now we are partnered with the Universal Industries Group, and now we are called Universal Industries East Africa Limited.
Hi, my name is Roscoe Bremer. I'm the Operations Director for Uni Industries East Africa. We're going to take you on a bit of a tour of our showroom, let you see what we're all about and what we do. Our business is mainly broken up into 6 segments, although they intertwine in the industry. We handle them as separate to just get a bit of clarity for our clients and who we are. We do supermarkets, hospitality, bakery, laundry, refrigeration and kitchens. And as I mentioned, they intertwine, but eventually you look at them as separate entities.
Majority of our equipment comes in from South Africa. Quite a chunk of it comes from Europe and USA. We do not have much of equipment from the Far East. Our customers are basically multinationals like the KFC, Simbiza Group, City Hotel. We also supply to the supermarkets, ShopRite supermarket, Naivas supermarkets. All the major supermarkets are our customers.
On the right hand side here, we've got our supermarket segment, which is mostly focused on refrigeration, display of products in the supermarkets, as well as the island freezers that you see where you take your ice creams and your frozen goods out of. In our bakery section, we mostly sell our South African made products in our factory, but we also have a lot of buy-ins coming from our European principals who supply the bigger processing equipment. In terms of our product breakdown, I would reckon about 50% of it comes from South Africa, which is manufactured by us, and then the additional processing equipment mostly comes from Europe, as they have a lot of set and older companies in those countries who are specialists in what they do, and we bring in those products to accompany our baking ovens in the industry. Our test kitchen we use to demonstrate the products to the clients, get live activities going, put some action in, get the people to see and feel what we do. This enables people to make better buying decisions, because a lot of clients who come in are not always sure that they know exactly what we are doing or what they want to do, and this helps them define and work out what they do on the ground. Over here we have our refrigeration section. Almost every part of the industry requires refrigeration in some form or fashion, whether it just be for storage, processing, ambient temperature for their products to be manufactured in. We also include our ice making processes within our refrigeration section. In our refrigeration, we can also do wholesale storage, meaning big cold rooms, walk-in fridges, large facilities, all part of our refrigeration department. As we move along, we'll get to our kitchen. Now, from a kitchen point of view, this includes our QSR businesses, restaurants, hotels, anybody basically that makes food in any form or fashion. Your processing part normally comes in the front, where your raw materials are brought in, processed, and then comes through to your final cooking stages, whichever they may be. We bring in a lot of product from Europe as well. Specifically on the cooking side, the ranges for different hotels, and then the refrigeration as well. To start off with, the smaller ones are what we call the horizontal packaging machines. They then are made to package individual items, whatever it might be. As an example, in the market here, we do individual mandazis, which are packaged in individual packets and sold that way, or alternatively packed as 5 in a pack in a bit of a bigger size. Then the step up from that is where you have stuff like buns being packaged. You want a dozen buns in a pack. You set the machine, it runs it, and it packs your 12 buns for you automatically in exactly the same package every time. From there, we've got what we call vertical machines. They're mostly used to pack smaller items, but in larger quantities. So on a mini bite mandazi, you want a 200-gram pack. The machine will measure it, put it in the bag, close the bag up, and produce a 200-gram bag repetitively over and over again. We've made our way through to the warehouse now. So we warehouse approximately 1,600 square meters of goods, currently to the value of about $200,000 US. up and down all the time. As we say, projects come in and go out. Our warehouse is segmented into two. This first side is for the smaller objects. We have it on shelving. We pack our items per type so that when we need to pull stock for our supplier clients, we can. Although we are a projectized business, it is integral to our success in the market to also have stock on the ground. So with cooperation from the supplier, we determine what would be the correct stock to keep on the ground, and we then try and keep that stock so that it's readily available for clients when they want to and buy it on the fly. From a projectized point of view, we can always bring in and consolidate projects, which I will show to you when we get to the second section. On this side, we keep our bigger items, which are all for projects. Most of these items have come in and will be here now until the rest of the items arrive. We get everything together and we then install and deliver the project as a whole. On the bigger items, transport and logistics is always an issue, which is why we keep it to the front, to make sure that we have minimum movement of the product in the warehouse environment. Our warehousing at the moment is relatively full. We've managed to acquire a lot of stock over time, and we keep working and rotating our stock to ensure that we've got the best product on the ground at the right times. So from a logistical point of view, our items are mostly flown into country, as we found over time that the flights and the logistical path involved with it works out cheaper, not only to us but to the end client, as your timing is better and your general use of product and time makes more sense. We also do shipping via freight and sea containers, and on the right here is a typical example of the type of products we would bring in. We'd bring in full containers of the refrigeration and the fridges, just make up a consolidated load of freezers and fridges, which then come in, and because we bring them in by sea, our landed cost in country is cheaper when you bring it in this way, although you have to have the stock on hand to make it work. On the project side, most of our stuff will be flown in as per project, then consolidated here from the different suppliers, and from there we will supply directly to the end user on the ground. We bring in stuff from America as well, as you can see on the left, from Henny Penny. These are mainly for our QSRs and our KFC business. These we will bring in based on their rollouts for the year as a group, bring in their product for them, make sure it's on the ground, so when they need it for their stores we can supply. Our importation process basically involves two channels, either with the flights directly to the airport where our stuff gets cleared through the customs there, or alternatively to the port at Mombasa, whereby the containers are then shipped through to the inland port here in Nairobi, and all clearing and duties and stuff are done at the port. Also, the fact that we look after the entire East Africa, we've had to come up with strategies to get product into the rest of East Africa, and we've taken the approach of opening entities in each country, which allows us to import directly into each country without paying double duties for moving product through countries. So we will bring stuff straight into Tanzania, straight into Rwanda, Uganda and Zanzibar if and when needed for our clients, which means that they still pay a better price on the ground because there's no double imports and double duties and double movement of logistics involved. At the moment, our Tanzania operation was doing very well with the hotel and the restaurant industry. Zanzibar, obviously being focused on tourism completely, has got a separate market, completely separate approach to the market, whereby it's more goods on demand for the hotels on the ground. So they buy direct from our showroom or fly direct from our South African companies into Zanzibar to supply the excess of 500 hotels. At the moment, Uganda and Rwanda are starting markets for us, although the restaurant trade in Rwanda and the hoteling trade has been very good. And then on Ugandan side, the bakery business is doing quite well, as bakery in Uganda is picking up and also looking as if it's going to grow into the same direction as the Kenyan market has done over the years.
It's been a pleasure working with the European suppliers. Okay, their standard of the equipment, quality of the equipment has been very good. Their backup service also has been fairly impeccable. The only issue with the European equipment is the price disparity with the other suppliers like from China and India. The price disparity is as much as 300 to 400% differences. But obviously you can't say that compensates for the quality of the equipment. But then you see, if you want to tap the market in East Africa, you need to see what is affordable to the customer. Now, in this case, what happens is the European equipment, at times, many of the possible customers do not have that much finance to fund it. I'm glad you've asked that question because we have had a few companies who've been coming directly and opening a branch, but they have not succeeded. I think very important is to partner with the local companies because they know the local rules of the business. In our case, we have just partnered with a company called Winterhalter from Germany. Now they were very sensible. They came in, they did a bit of reconnaissance, they saw what products we are selling. Now they gave us an offer which is fairly well tailor-made and it fits into our company pretty well. So now they are able to market their products and using us as the base for pushing the products.
Based on the experience we've had here in the last 3 years, I believe the African market is a very good market. There's a lot of growth in the market, but there are certain challenges in the market that make it advisable to work with a local partner, get involved with people on the ground who know the ins and outs of the business, the importation, the requirements, the permits, everything involved with doing business on the ground, as the knowledge of the product and the knowledge of how the product works at the end user is great to have and easy to get from your European suppliers. The logistics and everything behind it becomes a challenge. So finding that working together and finding the local knowledge that ties up with the international standards and knowledge makes life on the ground much easier. At the same time, giving your clients on the ground the knowledge that they've got professionals behind it, but that the people on the ground are also local and know what is required and what needs to be done in country.